Welcome to His and Hers Perspectives.
Welcome back to the His and Hers Perspectives channel. Now in today's video, I wanted to read this book titled Feeling is the Secret by Neville Goddard. And I thought that this was very, very important because I find that we all are in a state where we are seeking information, and a lot of the times we're not even aware that some of the fundamental information that we seek is already within. Obviously, there's certain content that we already share on this channel which deals with the law and also stuff that stems back to our history, etc. And those are good things to know as well. But when it comes to like a one-to-one basis and like relationships, with yourself and others, I find that this book is going to be very helpful so that we all can become better people and get the outcomes in life that we do want. So with that, I would love to jump into this book, and I'm going to be reading chapter by chapter, not all in one go, but today I would like to share chapter 1 of Feeling is the Secret, which is all about law and its operation. Now when I'm talking about law, I'm talking about the law of the universe and how things work. Now that may scare some of you all off, like, oh, I don't want to hear anything like that, but I urge you to pay attention and listen and see how deep this rabbit hole really goes in understanding ourselves and knowing that all we need is within ourselves. Of course, again, there are certain information that we have to seek outside, and those can help, but once you understand what can go on inside, or what you have bubbling inside of you and what you can pull out, it's gonna be so mind-blowing and so like, wow, how did I not know this any sooner? Anyway, with no further ado, let's jump into chapter 1. So chapter 1 is titled Law and Its Operation. The world and all within it is man's conditioned consciousness objectified. Consciousness is the cause as well as the substance of the entire world. So it is to consciousness that we must turn if we would discover the secret of creation. Knowledge of the law of consciousness and the method of operating this law will enable you to accomplish all you desire in life. Armed with a working knowledge of this law, you can build and maintain an ideal world. Consciousness is the one and only reality, not figuratively, but actually. This reality may, for the sake of clarity, be likened unto a stream which is divided into two parts, the conscious and the subconscious. In order to intelligently operate the law of consciousness, it is necessary to understand the relationship between the conscious and the subconscious. The conscious is personal and selective. The subconscious is impersonal and non-selective. The conscious is the realm of effect. The subconscious is the realm of cause. These two aspects are the male and female divisions of consciousness. The conscious is male, the subconscious is female. The conscious generates ideas and impresses these ideas on the subconscious. The subconscious receives ideas and gives form and expression to them. By this law, first conceiving an idea and then impressing the idea conceived on the subconscious, all things evolve out of the consciousness. And without this sequence, there is not anything made that is made. The conscious impresses the subconscious, while the subconscious expresses all that is impressed upon it. The subconscious does not originate ideas, but accepts as true those which the conscious mind feels to be true, and in a way known only to itself, objectifies the accepted ideas. Therefore, through his power to imagine and feel, and his freedom to choose the idea he will entertain, man has control over creation. Control of the subconscious is accomplished through control of your ideas and feelings. And that is so true, because whatever we focus on, whatever we give our attention to, we birth that in our lives in so many different aspects. Like, for example, if you only consume negative content, low vibrational content, what you're going to start giving off in your own way without even knowing it is low vibrational energy. Now, if you vibrate more higher, if you're like taking more content that is more uplifting, that just does something to you, that your subconscious is like, you're feeding yourself these ideas of whatever it may be, and then your subconscious will help you to vibrate and seek out more information that you have consumed, and give you more information regarding that one particular thing. Or if we look at it like in a creation of something, right? Now, if you wanted to start a business or whatever the case may be, anything you want to start, right? If you keep thinking on it and you want to become proficient in it and you don't know anything at first, your subconscious will eventually start pulling towards you the information that you need in whatever capacity. It's quite interesting, but I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say, because you create, basically, in order for you to create anything, you have to first take in information or feed ideas to yourself. And ideas come in the form of anything, whether you're watching TV or you're talking to someone, and an idea could just pop in your mind from something you've consumed. And then if you are thinking on that long and hard enough, you will start to create further ideas or develop a thought even further. Hopefully that makes sense. But let's continue. The mechanism of creation is hidden in the very depth of the subconscious, the female aspect or womb of creation. The subconscious transcends reason and is independent of induction. It contemplates a feeling as a fact existing within itself, and on this assumption proceeds to give expression to it. The creative process begins with an idea, and its cycle runs its course as a feeling and ends in a volition to act. Ideas are impressed on the subconscious through the medium of feeling. No idea can be impressed on the subconscious until it is felt. But once felt, be it good, bad, or indifferent, it must be expressed. Okay? Feeling is the one and only medium through which ideas are conveyed to the subconscious. Therefore, the man who does not control his feeling may easily impress the subconscious with undesirable states. By control of feeling is not meant restraint or suppression of your feeling, but rather the disciplining of self to imagine and entertain only such feeling as contributes to your happiness. Control of your feeling is all important to a full and happy life. Never entertain an undesirable feeling nor think sympathetically about wrong in any shape or form. Do not dwell on the imperfection of yourself or others. To do so is to impress the subconscious with these limitations. What you do not want done unto you, do not feel that it is done unto you or another. This is the whole law of a full and happy life. Everything else is commentary. And that is very true, right? Especially when it talks about your feeling, and that is how you impress an idea upon your subconscious. This is why I think while I was explaining what I was explaining earlier, I felt like I could have explained a bit better, but I'm glad I read this part to kind of remind myself how that works, right? Because if you are feeling strongly about something, that is how you impress that upon your subconscious for it to start bringing other things to you. Like if you really feel this, or you have this deep connection to this idea or this thought, you will start noticing how things will come to you. That's how, when people say, they manifest things. That is what it is, because they have a strong connection that the subconscious, as it says here, that the subconscious transcends reason, right? And is independent of induction. It will figure out a way to get whatever it is that you have a strong connection to, a strong feeling to, right? But anyway, this is why it says you have to be very careful about what it is that you are feeling. Be aware of your feelings. Of course, now we all have negative emotions, and you don't want to suppress that. You definitely want to get that out of you, because if you suppress that, it's not going to do you any favors. But you don't want to dwell on it too much. Yes, get rid of it. It may take you a day or two, but don't be in this negative space for months and years. That's when you're going to keep this cycle, telling the subconscious, keep giving me more of these negative emotions and feelings, right? But anyway, let's continue. Every feeling makes a subconscious impression, and unless it is counteracted by a more powerful feeling of an opposite nature, must be expressed. The dominant of two feelings is the one expressed, as I was just explaining, right? I am healthy is a stronger feeling than I will be healthy. To feel I will be is to confess I am not. I am is stronger than I am not. What you feel you are always dominates what you feel you would like to be. Let me say that again. What you feel you are always dominates what you feel you would like to be. So if I feel like I am crap, I feel like I am nothing, if I feel like I am worthless, if I feel any negative thoughts about myself and I strongly believe it, if I feel I'm unattractive, if I feel I'm depressed, if I feel I am dealing with a mental illness or whatever the case may be, if you feel that strongly, then that's what you are, because you are going to start giving off those types of energy. You're going to start moving in that type of way, right? I'm here moving around and this is squeaking. Sorry. And it says what you feel you are always dominates what you feel you would like to be. So you could be there all depressed and sad and whatever, but you want to say, I want to be out of this feeling. Or say if you feel like you're poor, right? And you just keep dwelling on that. If you have a strong feeling and a connection to I feel poor, I am poor, it says that will always dominate more than what you would like to be, rather than, oh, I would like to be rich, I would like to come out of this poverty, but you are resonating more with I am poor. So you will always be poor until you change your mind. You start to accept a different idea. As it says, I read above, it says the dominant of the two feelings is the one expressed. So we need to change how we are feeling about ourselves. But let's continue. What you feel you are always dominates what you feel you would like to be. Therefore, to be realized, the wish must be felt as a state that is rather than a state that is not. Sensation precedes manifestation and is the foundation upon which all manifestation rests. Be careful of your moods and feelings, for there is an unbroken connection between your feelings and your visible world. Again, it says sensation precedes manifestation. So sensation again is the way how you feel, right? Okay, your body is an emotional filter and bears the unmistakable marks of your prevalent emotions. Emotional disturbances, especially suppressed emotions, are the causes of all disease. To feel intensely about a wrong without voicing or expressing that feeling is the beginning of disease or dis-ease in the body and environment. Sorry, that says in both body and environment. Again, this is why if you feel negatively about something, as I mentioned earlier, if you are feeling bad about something, get that out of your system, because that will manifest in other areas, as it mentioned, right? It says your body is an emotional filter and bears the unmistakable marks of your prevalent emotions. So a lot of people who are feeling depressed, it starts to show up in their body, right? Also, if you're stressed, it starts to show up in your body. If you are, whatever you want to think about, right, it starts to show up in your body. Some people don't even understand why they're having backaches or why they're having whatever the case may be that's going on with them. And they fail to realize that energy, which is emotion, is trapped. And trust me, your emotions can create some craziness. Like, I've been there where I've been stressed so badly to the point I'm starting to get headaches. And that is trapped emotions inside of me. All right, so you need to get it out. Nonetheless, we continue. To feel intensely about a wrong without voicing or expressing that feeling is the beginning of disease or dis-ease in both body and environment. Do not entertain the feeling of regret or failure, for frustration or detachment from your objective results in disease. Think feelingly only of the state you desire to realize. So feelingly means to think deeply or in a heartfelt way, right? So it says, feeling the reality of the state sought and living and acting on that conviction is the way of all seeming miracles. Again, like manifestation, right? All changes of expression are brought about through a change of feeling. A change of feeling is a change of destiny. All creation occurs in the domain of the subconscious. What you must acquire then is a reflective control of the operation of the subconscious, that is, control of your ideas and feelings. Chance or accident is not responsible for the things that happen to you, nor is predestined fate the author of your fortune or misfortune. Your subconscious impressions determine the conditions of your world. So anything you are experiencing in your life, it is all because of your programming of yourself in your own subconscious. So there's no predestined fate for you. There is no chance or accident. We create our own reality. Like, seriously, think about it. You really create your own destiny, because you can be like, okay, I don't want to do that. So what you're going to do? You're going to change the way you move and see how things work out differently. Or you can sit where you are and don't do nothing, and that is what happens. Listen, we really need to start changing the way how we look at how our life is. And trust me, just try it. Just try it. Just try changing your mind and changing the way how you think and see how that works. Trust me, I've been doing it. I've seen so many times when I've tried this and it's worked. But then, of course, I understand life can get to us sometimes. But it is good to always know it and just become more dedicated. That's what we need to do. Become more dedicated. But let's continue. Chance or accident is not responsible for the things that happen to you, nor is predestined fate the author of your fortune or misfortune. Your subconscious impressions determine the conditions of your world. The subconscious is not selective. It is impersonal and no respecter of persons. The subconscious is not concerned with the truth or falsity of your feeling. It always accepts as true that which you feel to be true. And that is so true, because if you think about anything in life, someone could look you dead in the face and be telling you a lie, right? You don't really know it's a lie. But if you feel it and you strongly feel it, and there is nothing that anybody can convince you that that person is actually telling the truth, you are going to act more on that feeling, that gut feeling, that instinct or intuition that's like, and the thing is, when you feel that strongly, you act on that, right? So it says, the subconscious is not selective. It is impersonal and no respecter of persons. The subconscious is not concerned with the truth or falsity of your feeling. It always accepts as true that which you feel to be true. Again, so when you feel that feeling, your subconscious is going to start pulling all the information and be showing you like, yeah, you were right. There you go. Okay? But anyway, let's continue. Feeling is the ascent of the subconscious to the truth. So feeling is the ascent of the subconscious to the truth of that which is declared to be true. Because of this quality of the subconscious, there is nothing impossible to man. So because that subconscious is going to feel whatever you put in it as truth, especially if you have a dominant feeling to it, it is going to birth whatever it is you strongly feel. So if you want to be the biggest CEO or the biggest whatever it is you want to be, if you feel strongly about yourself, like believing in yourself, your subconscious is going to pull all the information and everything you need to make that transpire, right? Again, feeling is the ascent of the subconscious. Sorry, did I read that part again? Okay, wait. I think this is where I am. Because of this quality of the subconscious, there is nothing impossible to man. Whatever the mind of man can conceive and feel as true, the subconscious can and must objectify. Your feelings create the pattern from which your world is fashioned, and a change of feeling is a change of pattern. Just try it. Change how you feel and truly feel it, live in it, and see what happens. Continuing, the subconscious never fails to express that which has been impressed upon it. The moment it receives an impression, it begins to work out the ways of its expression. It accepts the feeling impressed upon it, your feeling, as a fact existing within itself, and immediately sets about to produce in the outer or objective world the exact likeness of that feeling. The subconscious never alters the accepted beliefs of man. It outpictures them to the last detail, whether or not they are beneficial. Again, be very mindful of what you are focusing on, because your subconscious is going to present it to you in the most detailed way possible. Even ways that you didn't think of, because you know what? You just gave it the idea, and it is going to fashion the idea and outpicture it to the very detail of how you felt. You probably even realize you felt that deeply until your subconscious starts showing you what's going on, right? But let's continue. To impress the subconscious with the desirable state, you must assume the feeling that would be yours had you already realized your wish. In defining your objective, you must be concerned only with the objective itself. The manner of expression or the difficulties involved are not to be considered by you. To think feelingly, again, deeply on any state impresses it on the subconscious. Therefore, if you dwell on difficulties, barriers, or delay, the subconscious, by its very non-selective nature, accepts the feelings of difficulties and obstacles as your request and proceeds to produce them in your outer world. The subconscious is the womb of creation. Just remember that always, okay? It receives the idea unto itself through the feelings of man. It never changes the idea received, but always gives it form. Hence, the subconscious outpitches the idea in the image and likeness of the feeling received. To feel a state as hopeless or impossible is to impress the subconscious with the idea of failure. Although the subconscious faithfully serves man, it must not be inferred that the relation is that of a servant to a master, as was anciently conceived. Let me read it again. To feel a state as hopeless or impossible is to impress the subconscious with the idea of failure. Although the subconscious faithfully serves man, it must not be inferred that the relation is that of a servant to a master, as was anciently conceived. The ancient prophets called it the slave and servant of man. Saint Paul personified it as a woman and said, the woman should be subject to man in everything. The subconscious does not serve man and faithfully gives, The subconscious does serve man and faithfully gives form to his feelings. However, the subconscious has a distinct distaste for compulsion and responds to persuasion rather than to command. Consequently, it resembles the beloved wife more than the servant. So basically, you have to persuade it more than just command it. You can't just say to your subconscious, you know what, subconscious, do this now. I want to be this. It's not going to get done. No. But when you persuade it by continuously thinking positively and heartfelt about whatever it is, then the subconscious is like, okay, baby, I'm going to make that happen. But if you start barking, if you think about human beings, like if you start barking orders at somebody, whether it be your husband or your wife, and say, oh, I command you do this, do that, they're going to look at you like, what? Like, who am I? But if you start be like, hey, babe, you know, this is something that I've been thinking about, boom, 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 bam, bam, bam. And then, you know, you can still have these conversations over time. The person on the receiving end who's listening is like, oh, if it's your wife or if it's your husband, it's like, oh, okay, so my other half really likes this. You know what? I'm going to start seeing what I can find and figure out to help. That is how the subconscious works. Not just, yeah, you know what? This is what I want, so give it to me. You'll be sitting there waiting a whole lifetime. Okay? Nonetheless, the husband is head of the wife. Ephesians 5 may not be true of man and woman in their earthly relationship, but it is true of the conscious and the subconscious, or the male and female aspects of consciousness. The mystery to which Paul referred when he wrote, "This is a great mystery, he that loveth his wife loveth himself, and they two shall be one flesh," is simply the mystery of consciousness. Consciousness is really one and undivided, but for creation's sake, it appears to be divided into two. The conscious, objective, or male aspect truly is the head and dominates the subconscious, subjective, or female aspect. However, this leadership is not that of the tyrant, but of the lover. So by assuming the feeling that would be yours were you already in possession of your objective, the subconscious is moved to build the exact likeness of your assumption. Your desires are not subconsciously accepted until you assume the feeling of their reality. For only through feeling is an idea subconsciously accepted, and only through this subconscious acceptance is it ever expressed. Okay? So again, you need to feel that and really feel it to your core. But let's continue. It is easier to ascribe your feeling to events in the world than to admit that the conditions of the world reflect your feeling. However, it is eternally true that the outside mirrors the inside. As within, so without. A man can receive nothing unless it is given him from heaven, and the kingdom of heaven is within you. Nothing comes from without. All things come from within, from the subconscious. It is impossible for you to see other than the contents of your consciousness. Your world in its every detail is your consciousness objectified. Objective states bear witness of subconscious impressions. A change of impression results in a change of expression. And that is so true, because how I perceive the world, if I have a negative view of the world, it doesn't matter whatever I look upon out there, I will always see things in a negative light. But if I choose to change the way how I view the world, and I have a positive outlook on the world, everything else appears positive. And that is coming from my consciousness. My consciousness is how I perceive things. Okay? So again, it says it's easier to ascribe your feelings to events of the world and not realizing or admitting the conditions of the world reflect your feelings. If you have a negative feeling, everything appears negative. If you're in a relationship and you feel like this person is just not listening or whatever, if you already have a feeling of negativity, even when the other person is being, polite or whatever, you might look at it like, is he or she really being nice, or was that a slight little remark really aimed to be insulting to me, but then they're trying to, pass it off like it wasn't. All the while that person's like, no, I really wasn't being like that. But because you have a negative feeling towards the person, everything that they do is received as negative. Again, your perception of the world is how you see the world and how you interact with the world. And you're not realizing that that's how you see it, but you're saying, oh, the world is so bad, everybody's so bad. No, maybe I just have a negative outlook. Anyway, let's continue. The subconscious accepts as true that which you feel as true, and because creation is the result of subconscious impressions, you, by your feeling, determine creation. You are already that which you want to be, and your refusal to believe this is the only reason you do not see it. And it's so crazy because a lot of us don't want to accept that as true. It says you are already that which you want to be, right? You are already that which you want to be. So whatever you want to be, or if you are whatever you are in this particular moment in your life, you are that because that's what you want to be. Or you can look at it like, if I truly want to be whatever else in a more positive light, if you really start thinking on that, you are going to become that eventually. But anyway, you are already that which you want to be, and your refusal to believe this is the only reason you don't see it. To seek on the outside for that which you do not feel you are is to seek in vain. Again, to seek on the outside for that which you do not feel you are is to seek in vain. Again, if you go back to that depression thing and you keep saying, oh, well, I want to be like more happier, but truly you feel depressed. If you're now trying to seek happiness, but you truly deeply feel depressed, you're seeking in vain. You have to start changing the way how you really feel about yourself and what you want to be. To seek on the outside for that which you do not feel you are is to seek in vain. For we never find that which we want. We find only that which we are. In short, you express and have only that which you are conscious of being or possessing. To him that hath, it is given. Denying the evidence of the senses and appropriating the feeling of the wish fulfilled is the way to the realization of your desire. Mastery of self-control of your thoughts and feelings is your highest achievement. However, until perfect self-control is attained, so that in spite of appearances, you feel all that you want to feel, use sleep and prayer to aid you in realizing your desired states. These are the two gateways into the subconscious. And that is the end of chapter 1 of Feeling is the Secret. Let me know what are your thoughts in the comments below and what you think about anything I have interjected. And I look forward to reading those comments and reading and sharing chapter 2 with you in the next one. Bye. Please be sure to engage with the content by leaving a comment, hitting the like button, sharing and subscribing if you're not already subscribed. And if you would like for us to discuss a particular topic, then go ahead and send us an email at hisandhersperspectives@gmail.com.